Okay, briefly. Look, we have a beef with the handicapper for about the last 3 years. When Tiger Roll won his second Grand National in April 2019, he was a 9-year-old. His rating went up from 159 to 170. Now, you could argue it was ridiculous or absurd at that stage, but fine, he'd won a second Grand National. We then ran him in November of 2019 as a 10-year-old in the cross-country in Cheltenham, he was beaten out of sight by Easyland, who at the time was rated 152. And we haven't hidden the horse. Like, we've repeatedly taken him back and repeatedly run him in Grade 1 races, which is what a rating of 170 suggests he is. Everybody would accept, I think, if we run Tiger Roll in an ordinary Grade 1, he'll get beaten out the park. We ran him in the Betfair. I mean, he was given a rating of 171 in the Grand National last year. We said it was absurd. We weren't running him off that weight. And we ran him in the Betfair Bowl. And we ran him in the Betfair Bowl, rated off 170. He was beaten 95 lengths into fourth by Clantazobo, who was rated 169. Now, he's 11. He's entitled to get some sort of reduction off that. To be fair, the Irish handicapper dropped him from 170 to 155, which I thought was fair. The British handicapper wouldn't drop him at all. In fact, the British handicapper gave him no end-of-season rating, despite the fact that he ran in the cross-country and he ran in the Betfair Bowl. And we have to ask why. Why is he left at 170 now that he's 2 years older than he's 11? 2 years older than when he won a Grand National off 159. He didn't win a Grand National off 170. He ran a Grand National off 159. So he's at 155 in Ireland last March. He's no rating in the UK because the handicapper claims, well, I'm going to ignore his cross-country performance because we don't race cross-country horses, but I'll also ignore his Betfair Bowl. So we bring him back again this autumn. We run him in the Many Clouds race, the Grade 2 in Aintree. He's still rated 165, and he gets pulled up before the 12th length because he's frankly not a Grade 1 horse. He never has been a Grade 1 horse. Now, we fully accept he's good over Grand National fences, and he's good at the Cheltenham Cross Country. But that does not entitle him to a rating of 170 or 165.
Well, he's 161 though now, isn't he, Michael?
Yeah, but he's not 161 in the Grand National. He has it down at 161 in England. He's actually 155 in Ireland. And he's another year older. He's 12. So the handicapper comes out. And I think the real problem here is not so much us having a row with the handicapper. It's that this handicapper has now prevented the most popular horse in training running in the Grand National for 2 years in a row. And I believe that that's an idiotic and absurd handicap rating. And I stand over that view. He has ruined, in my view, the huge promotional opportunity that's available to Aintree and the Grand National by having Tiger Roll trying to emulate Red Rum, going for the 3 in a row. And he's done it not once, he's done it 2 years in a row. Why? By having an unfair and a ridiculously high rating. If the Irish handicapper rated him 155 last year, why didn't the English handicapper agree with that? Or tell us at least why you didn't agree with it. Why did he not give him any rating? And let me give you a couple of examples. Santini's been dropped by £14, despite finishing second to Chantry House in a Grade 2. He was dropped £14 from his last year's rating in the Grand National. He's 10 years old. The handicapper repeatedly said, I ignored the cross-country because it's not reliable, which, by the way, I agree with. And yet Easyland, who was beaten into second by Tiger Roll last year in the cross-country, has been dropped £8 without even running. Tiger Roll, when he finished second to Easyland 2 years ago in the cross-country, wasn't dropped a pound. So we have a handicapper here who simply rates this horse ridiculously unfairly on the basis of what he's done in Aintree. And despite the fact that we bring him over to the UK and we run him in Grade 1 races, we run him in Grade 2 races, on his mark he gets beaten 95 lengths or he pulls up because he's not a Grade 1 or Grade 2 horse, and he refuses to move him by even a pound. And then he comes out with this pomposity on the day of the announcement, oh, well, I've dropped Tiger Roll by £5 from a ridiculous rating last year that we wouldn't run him at to an equally ridiculous rating this year that we won't run him at.
What would you have run at, Michael?
I think, here's my view. If he had raised him somewhere down at around 150, which I think would be fair, and give him a £5 premium for his Aintree past performance, 155, which is what the Irish handicapper rated him at this time last year, he'd have been in the low 11 zones, 11-1, 11-2. We'd have run him at that. Like, I think he would have at least given him a fair chance. But he's 12. He would not have won 3 in a row. He's not a Red Rum. But he has been denied the opportunity to replicate Red Rum for 2 years in a row by this handicapper's ego getting in the way of what is a clearly declining form of the horse and an aging horse.
Let's say, for example, Michael, that we agree with your analysis and that the horse hasn't been fairly handicapped. What in your view would be the purpose of that? Because as you say, it's in the interest of the race to have Tiger Roll running it. So why would they be making a special case for this horse?
I think the difficulty is, when a horse wins the Grand National, fine. Times last year got, I think, £7 or £8 for winning the Grand National. The problem for Tiger Roll is he's won the Grand National twice. He got £9 the first year. I think he got £7 the first year. He went up from 152 to 159. And then he won his second Grand National by 2 lengths. He didn't win by 25 lengths. And they put him up £11 to 170, which is clearly a Grade 1 rating. And it's the handicapper, I make the weights and, this is a remarkable horse. He's the multiple Gold Cup winner. Let's give him 170. And then I don't have a difficulty with that. Where I really have a difficulty with this handicapper is he refuses to drop him from 170, despite the fact that we have run him for 3 years in Grade 1 chase races, in Grade 2 chase races, and he's never been able to keep up with them. We run him into cross-country in Cheltenham, and when he was beaten 17 lengths by Easyland, handicapper said, oh, well, I'll ignore that because the cross-country doesn't matter. In the last 12 months, Easyland, who was beaten 17 lengths by Tiger Roll, has been dropped £8 without even appearing on a race course. And yet Tiger Roll, who's gone to the Betfair Bowl, been beaten 95 lengths, who's gone to the Many Clouds race in Aintree, been beaten, actually pulled up after the 12 fence, and he won't drop him any equivalent amount. Santini has dropped £14 in the last 12 months.
Michael, I think we kind of get the mathematics of your thinking. Just a quick one, though. You don't honestly believe that a handicapper should drop at any horse in any race just to promote the race? I mean, either in business or mathematically, you can't really believe it. Otherwise, you'd be giving everyone free baggage on Ryanair flights, wouldn't you? Because it would promote the airline. No,
I think that's absolutely correct. But what I'm saying here is this horse has 3 years of great form that has been completely ignored by this handicapper. Beaten in the second place in the cross-country, beaten 95 lengths in the Betfair, beaten in the Many Clouds, and yet he still has him rated at 165 in the UK. He's 155 in Ireland.
Michael, we get the mathematics. Just quickly, because you are one of the best businessmen in the world, whether people like what you say or don't. At the end of the day, Ryanair is an incredible business. So you understand business. Why on hell's name, as a man who's highly intelligent, would you not let Tiger Roll run in the cross-country at Cheltenham? And if he hacks up there and looks like one of the best handicapped horses in the Grand National, not let him take his chance? That just is not clever.
Firstly, he won't hack up in the cross-country.
You don't know.
Look, I know we don't know, but you will not defy age. Many athletes have tried. He will not be in the Grand National by the time he runs in the cross-country. He is coming out at the next forfeit stage. He is 12 years of age, and I have no intention of asking the horse, who is like a fifth child to me, to carry 11.8 or 11.10 around Cheltenham, around Aintree, at the age of 12. It is not happening because he hasn't been fairly treated by this handicapper, not for 1 year, not for 2 years, but for 3 years.
Okay.
And it is the handicapper's fault that the promotion of this race has been now damaged by Tiger Roll's absence for the next 6 or 8 weeks. Now, I accept all it is it's good PR for the race in the run-up to the Grand National. Whoever wins the Grand National, there will be a story to be told. It will have its own narrative. And thankfully, the Tiger Roll controversy will never happen again because he will be retired after the cross-country race in Cheltenham this year.
He's about 2 to 1 for that, so a lot of people do fancy him.
JP has something younger and faster and more beautiful that will whip him.
We wanted to ask Michael loads of other questions. We're running out of time, Michael. Just very quickly, conflated, will he win the Gold Cup? And are you really slowing down, or are these colours, these maroon colours, going to be around for a lot longer?
I don't think Conflated will win the Gold Cup because if Galvin runs in the Gold Cup for Gordon, I think we'll switch Conflated to the Ryanair.
Okay.
I would love to, there's no one else other than JP, but I'd love to see Ronnie Bartlett win a Gold Cup, and I don't think Conflated would beat Galvin, and I think it would make sense from Gordon's point of view to divide the two horses.
Okay.
And we'll go and take on Willie in the Ryanair.
We've only got 25 seconds left, Michael, you'll be pleased to know. And secondly, I once said to you, Sam Crow was the second coming. I want to apologise. I might have got that wrong.
Thank you very much, and I was right again on that point. Sam Crow and Tiger Roll.
You did say that, to be fair to you, Michael. Look, many thanks for your time today. Appreciate it. Sorry about the issues. Thanks for joining us.